Somebody else had decided to do a food tasting similar to mine. I remember that year it paid me. I was like, and I'm very competitive. I said, so you want to copy my content? I will beat you. Don't you worry. So I actually went crazy. I took my flyers and I started walking the streets of Silver Spring, and I started targeting anybody that looks African. I made friends. I said, hi, listen, I have this business. I need you to support. Come to my event. It's new. I really, really need your support. You want to support Black business? I'm a Black person in your face right now. How you, while I'm here.
Just do it, man.
Please repost it. This is my Instagram.
Oh,
and I did so many.
Hey people, it's Abisola,
What's going on, people? Shay here, Oko Abisola.
aka that just means Sheyi is my husband.
Yep, and we're your co-hosts on Life and Some Jara.
But before you think this is another relationship podcast, we've got so much more in store for you on money, side gigs, and living your best life. You shall get the gist.
Exactly, and all this content comes from you, our listeners, through surveys that you complete.
And trust us to add our own Jara, you know,
Yep.
a little extra here and there.
Of course, so stay tuned.
Hey, so today I have here with me Renny Vonne of Bites by Renny. She is like the it caterer in the DC area. She has almost 20,000 followers on Instagram. I know, you know, it's just Instagram, but still, hello, she has 20K followers on Instagram, and she's popularly known for her food tasting events. So she has all these, what she calls a culinary boutique, where people like us, African people, will come together, like taste some bougie African food. I know there's such a thing. Dance, good music, good vibes, you know, yeah. So she's the one. If you've been to her events, this is the owner, and we're here sitting talking to her, and I am so excited to hear all of the information that she has to pour out to us today. So welcome, Renny.
Thanks for having me. It's so nice to be here. Everyone, as she mentioned, my name is Renny Kevin. I'm also known as Renny, and I'm the owner of Bites by Renny, as she mentioned.
Awesome. So tell me, who is Renny? Like, tell me a little bit more about yourself. We all know you as Renny, you know, the girl who cooks, but what else about you?
Well, a very tricky question. I feel like that's an existential question we're all trying to answer slowly. So I was born and raised in Nigeria, and I came here for college. I went to Temple University in Philly. I wasn't cooking like that. Actually, at Temple, during my undergrad, I started doing a blog. I got this idea, and it was a very random blog. There were weird short stories, and then I made my friends do photo shoots. So it was a combination of weird fashion with pictures. And then I started doing some recipes, experimental recipes, but I wasn't really into food like that. Then I started grad school in 2013 at Georgetown University. And that was my first time living alone ever in life. And I was so excited. I lived in downtown DC, and I lived 5 minutes away from a farmer's market. And it's my mom that found the farmer's market. I moved to DC, and my mom said, where will you now find pounded yam and African hot chicken? Let's find it. She Googled it. She said, there's a farmer's market. We took a taxi and we found one. So my mom went back to Nigeria after dropping me off in school. And so that summer I was very bored. I hadn't started school. I didn't have a job. So I was like, okay, let me just be cooking. That's the only thing I know. So I went to the farmer's market, started buying food. I lived alone. I didn't even know how to cook for one person. I started getting carried away with food and cooking. Then I started making friends, and I was obsessed with Scandal, the show. So I said, since I lived alone, I was like, and I was not used to being alone after being an undergrad, I started making these people come to my house, and I was like, come to Scandal, I'll cook. And so we started doing Scandal watch parties. And the next thing I know, I got obsessed. I was like, okay, I don't know how to make meat pie, but I will learn. I made ugly meat pies, but these people said, it tastes good. I did this for about a year. It was Scandal, then it was How to Get Away with Murder. I made my classmates eat. The next thing you know, we said, let's do a Friendsgiving. Marinike went and made food for 70 people for a Friendsgiving of 10. It was ridiculous. People were taking pans of food home. I went overboard, made 5 whole chickens, ridiculous. So then in the beginning of 2015, somebody just said, you should actually just open a food page and just try to see if you can go into business. I said, me, business. Okay, let's try it. So that's how, next thing I know, I opened my page, and I begged the African Students Union at Georgetown. I said, please, just throw me a little bone and please support me. I will give you cheap discount. And next thing you know, they booked me, and it just went off from there.
That is so inspiring. If you guys know me from my blog, Shay and I have tried to make meat pie. And it ended up in a huge disaster. And trust me, we had determination, but not like yours, because those ugly meat pies never got prettier. And then, and then we just gave up. So real major kudos to you for sticking on there and for getting it to the point where you can actually sell it to other people. Like, that's a big deal. This is like, now the meat pie is like really, really, really good, right? Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. After many years of practice, it finally got better.
So I want to know, was there ever a time that you almost quit, Bites by Renny? Was there something that, was there ever a point where you got so low? And then if there was, what inspired you to just keep going on?
So I wouldn't say there was ever a time where I said, I'm done with Bites by Renny. The first thing is to make clear is a lot of people have, been wondering why I have never gone full time. And to be quite frank, Bites by Renny has always been a passion project. It's always been something that I do to make myself happy. So I've never wanted to quit. However, I've taken creative breaks. So now it's something that I've made more standard. So sometimes I'll just tell myself for 2 months, I'm not doing catering. For 2 months, I don't feel like really cooking like that, because I think it's similar to any other craft. It's similar to singing. It's similar to writing. Sometimes you just need a break. So with Bites by Renny, when I feel like it's overwhelming and it's not fun, I take a break. But I don't ever foresee a time where I'll say, I'm just completely done with cooking and creating.
Right. I think that's such an awesome tip, because we do get overwhelmed sometimes. And for me, I just keep pushing through and keep going. But just to say, and I think that's why they have seasons and, shows or podcasts or whatever it is you're doing, is like, people are like, woof.
Yes.
I'm tired, you guys, I'll be back soon. But that is so necessary in everything we're doing.
Completely agree.
So did you have any side hustles besides Bites by Renny?
I've been known to have side hustles since.
Are you serious?
Since I was a kid. Very strange things. My mom would give me a bag of Maltesers that she dashed me, and I'll go to school and start selling it. Or this was bad in boarding school. Obviously in Nigeria, you're not allowed to have a phone, but I snuck one terrible useless phone that my mom didn't use, and I used to charge people 200 naira to make calls. So
that's genius. I mean, like illegal genius, but genius nonetheless.
I'll sell gum, or I'll sneak gum in, or something random. Or if I knew my mom threw out some eyeliner, but I knew that some seniors in boarding school really wanted eyeliner, I'll take it there and sell it or something. So I've always liked the idea of having extra money. Mm-hmm. So Bites by Renny it became like a ding, 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 something I can be creative in and something that can bring me some extra cash.
I love it. I love it. So tell me, did you after you continue just cooking and learning on your own, did you ever go for some formal training, culinary school, anything like that?
I thought about it. I did. I already have a master's, and I said, okay, maybe. And to be quite frank, I decided not to. So a little history. My mom is a caterer. Well, that
makes a lot of sense now.
I've worked in the kitchen.
Very nice.
And one thing that I'm okay with myself is, compared to a professional chef, is she taught me how to have kitchen sense. In the sense that I don't need to follow a recipe to the T to understand that, let me add extra pepper because the tomatoes are very sweet. Or something like that. Or let me know to add this much water because this brand of rice tends to take a little long to cook. So she taught me how to just apply that sense. I never saw my mom look at any recipe. And so I learned that from her. So when I considered going to culinary school, I looked at the roster. I have absolutely no interest in French cooking. I have absolutely no interest in French techniques. I don't want to learn how to make flan. I don't want to learn how to make any of those things. I don't
really
care.
know culinary school for our kind of ethnic food, maybe not Nigerian, but the island type of flair.
They might. They do. They
West
exist.
African-ish.
They exist,
okay.
But unfortunately, when I've done research in the culinary world, it still centers on European methods. And I just don't care about that line of cooking.
That's fair.
So when I thought about all the things that I know how to make and I make them pretty well, I was like, this is a waste of money. I'm not going to go and learn how to, make some sort of filet mignon and then I get back and I'm making egusi soup. Where did you help me? I'm fine where I am. And I believe in Malcolm Gladwell's Outlier book. He said, if you do something for 10,000 hours, you become an expert. So I'm fine with what I know and it's been working for me.
That's awesome. Okay. So what actually intrigued me about you is that you not only cater food, like your average Niger caterer is like, yeah, come pick up your tray of jollof and boom, you're on your way. But you do events around your food and you make them really fun and interesting. And like you look at the food and you're like, I want this right now. It makes me hungry. So what inspired that and why do you do that?
Yeah. So first things first, tangent to the Bites by Renny catering, I have a blog, RennyVonne.com, and part of it is Bites by Renny, where I come up with the recipes. And there was a particular year, I want to say 2015 to 16, there were a lot of hits on the food recipes. People were very interested in learning how to make the recipes that I was coming up with. So one day I just had this idea, like, I want people to, because people ask me questions, I want them to actually taste what it's supposed to taste like so that when they go home to make it, it makes complete sense. So, but I was having a hard time. I said, what was really popular then was these sit-down dinners. People were having supper clubs, especially in the UK. I saw supper clubs. But
I'm clearly not hip because I ain't I think maybe I never heard about it.
I think in the foodie community, it was all the rage. People were doing supper clubs, formal dinners. And for me, I did not want something that, I just don't like the idea of something boring. I'm like, I don't want someone to just be sitting down and be looking. That's not who I am. So I took some inspiration from what it's like for when my friends visit. Get back to those watch parties. My friends come in. I do buffet style, like take whatever you want. We have music in the background. There's laughing, gisting, music. And so I said I wanted to recreate something like that in the form of an event. And there was nothing like it in the DMV. I had searched. No one was doing that kind of event. And so I put together a custom menu. My first event was hilarious because I don't know who I thought I was. I had 16 items on the menu. I was only expecting 50 people and I cooked for 200. Went overboard. But the idea was people would come into, I like doing lounge settings, like people's club rooms, because I don't want it to be formal. People came, we had music, we played games, we had cooking competitions. So after the first one, people really liked it. It picked up and it's been something that has been going on. And now I think I'm at the 7th one.
Very nice. So I see that you have one coming up very soon. Can you tell us about it? What should we expect and when is it?
November 16 at 6 p.m. I'm still figuring out locations. It'll be somewhere in this DC metro area.
Okay.
It's going to be, I'm not even going to lie, if it's not broken, don't fix it. That's my theory. I've been thinking about maybe new ways and everyone said this works. I'm going to have food. We're going to have a VIP section, but the regular section will be just as poppin'. We're going to have a DJ. We're going to have a dance floor. We're going to have drinks, per usual. We're going to have cooking competition. We're going to have a guest chef demo. We're going to have desserts. It's going to be a good time. But at this point, I've also heard people are meeting in terms of relationships. I've had friends that are like, I'm like, okay. So putting this as a plug, if you are looking to find your soulmates, they may be eating it. What was
the term we used again? For vibing. Oh yeah. So if you're looking to vibe, right?
Looking to vibe.
You're looking to vibe
over good food.
Yeah, you better come over to Bites by Renny's events on November
16 at 6 p.m. But more details to follow will be on my Instagram.
Okay, awesome. I'm looking forward to that.
Thank you.
Okay, so give us the gist. I saw recently that Bites by Renny, this wonderful lady flew to, where did you fly to? New Orleans?
North Carolina.
She flew on the airplane to go cook jollof rice for someone's party. I need to know the gist. How? Why? There must be some Basira jazz or something in your jollof rice for someone to fly you over to come cook jollof. I mean, there has to be other caterers in North Carolina. So there must be something. And I want to know.
Let me tell you, the thing shocks me myself. Okay. As your people say, oh, Camila Raja, I was very surprised. This groom is my customer. He's ordered jollof from me.
Okay.
Came to me late last year, first proposed it that he really, really wants my jollof for his wedding. I said, there are other people in North. Do you want me to help you find a restaurant? I'm sure if I put it out there to my network. He said, no, they want my jollof that I should stay tuned. I said, okay, this one is a joke. Very soon he will stop. He came back again in March. He said, let's discuss logistics. Like, what would you need? I said, I will need a kitchen. I will need all my pots. And it's just hard. Like, I will need my seasonings. This is hard. He said, okay, we'll provide all that. The bride's mom, they will have that. I said, okay, I will need someone to drive me around. Okay, I'll make myself available.
Wow.
I said, okay, this one is just talking. Next thing I know, he said, please send me your date of birth. I'm buying your tickets. Okay, he bought tickets. I said, it's a lie. This is a... He came back again midsummer. We have booked your stay. This is where you'll be staying. So, like joke. September came, I said, my friends, it's like I'm going to North Carolina. Wow. So I don't know. I mean, I do know. I don't even have any need to be fake humble. The jollof rice really is spectacular.
That's awesome.
And I knew my jollof rice was good when one Christmas, my mom just used style to say, hey, Morenike, you make the jollof, Abby.
If mommy is asking, I mean, our mom's cooking is always the best, yes. Right? So if she's asking you to make it,
and
that
she's
means,
a caterer,
right.
So I know, I've worked on the jollof for a long time. I've been making it for years now, and I can unequivocally tell you that I've actually perfected the recipe. So it wasn't even a big deal. By the time I got to North Carolina, I carried my pot because jollof in different pots, you never know.
Oh my gosh, it's all in the pot.
It's in the pot.
All in the burning of the pot.
I have my stainless steel. Okay. Three of them. So I carried all three of them.
On the plane.
On the plane. As I was checking it, they were just saying bagbo. So I was like, yes, don't worry about it. I carried my blender. I carried my electric kettle. And I went to North Carolina. And yeah, it was just funny because I was just thinking like, how am I going to, because the groom said, okay, last minute, I can't drive you around, but just take Uber. I said, okay. But I was thinking like, how will I now do it? So the first Uber I took, I just told the guy, I was like, listen, I'm from out of town. I need an assistant. If I give you some money, will you just stay here and drive me around? And he was helpful because he was Latino. So I was like, listen, I need to find Knorr. They don't have it here.
Like seasoning cubes?
Yeah, the seasoning cubes. I need to find. So he knew where to take me. And at first, I was very worried. I was nervous. I said, I don't even cook for that many people. 250.
How many people was it? 250 people.
Yes. So I said, okay, I need to make 10 full trays. I made 10 full trays, only for them to say 5 trays was actually enough. So I even overmade. So some people took trays on their flights back and things. But, it showed me that I actually had the ability because I was doubting myself. I was like, I don't know why they want to fly me. How would they tell people they flew this person in and it wasn't good? But, I was impressed. I was like, this rice is actually really good. So it was a nice new venture for me.
Wow. So what do they call those traveling nurses? You're a traveling kid.
I'm a traveling cook. Or as the cook said, I'm now flued out. So.
Okay, I love that. So what has been your biggest challenge with Bites by Renny?
Challenge might be too strong of a word because, to be quite frank, I've been very fortunate. In this business, word of mouth really helps. People who use my service just tell people, and I've even gotten lazy. People just come into my DMs now. I've been very fortunate. I will say the challenge is getting Nigerians to understand the value in catering. So sometimes I'll have people make inquiries and they say, oh, the price is too high. And then after explaining, like, there's gas, there's tomatoes, red pepper is $3 per pound. Okay. It's my time. It's cleaning. It's the convenience. It's a luxury at the end of the day. So the challenge has been getting Nigerians to come on board with understanding that I'm not Yabasira. Like, Yabasira is there. There are other aunties that do this. But you're coming to me for sweet potato asaro, my own specialty recipe. The Japanese sweet potatoes are not cheap. They're not. Just making that case. But I think it's gotten better now because I've set my ground that I'm not reducing my price.
Yeah,
so.
You've set the standard.
Definitely.
Trust me, I know Nigerians. I've been...
They will price you.
They would... Listen, I used to have a hair braiding business.
Oh.
When I say, sis, oh my gosh, hours. Like I could braid for 10 hours. Need your $20. Screw on.
Yes.
For what? Wait, why? No.
You should hear. I mean, I don't even. They will just surprise you. You just be hearing for $40. I think it's goat meat. You now start pricing. So nowadays I've become savage. Sometimes I don't even respond to some DMs just to send them. It's like, it's okay. I actually don't even come back. Don't come back. Yeah.
Oh wow. Our people in general though, we can do better. Like it's not even just for the food. Like for everything, we would price the crap out of it. Yeah.
That pricing, people just need to learn. I'm even very eager to say, I'm not the caterer for you. I'm okay. I'm not the caterer for you. You don't, because at the end of the day, I regret it. Even if I reduce my price by 40%, by the time I'm done, I will be detesting the customer after all my struggles. So how much did I get? 200. Also with catering, I always let people know, I'm like, this isn't this isn't like other types of business. I have to remove the cost of food.
Right.
Like,
it's not just a service.
I'm not, if I charge you $1,000, that $1,000 is not coming to my pocket. I have to remove that. I'm going to buy food. I'm going to use gas to buy it. So really think about it in half. Yeah. So Nigerians need to do better.
I hear you.
Yeah.
You look like, you should see her face. She looks like, I'm tired of our people.
I'm tired.
I'm tired too. God help us.
God help us.
Okay. So I'll read this question. It's a bit long. So the one thing that many business owners have a challenge with is getting people to know about their awesome work. Like I am a living testimony to that. How did you get I think you answered the first question about getting your first few customers through having parties in your house. Mm-hmm. How did you grow your customer base from the point where you were having like small watch parties in your house to the point where you're renting a location to have bigger parties, or you're getting people to fly you over to come cook, or, how did you grow that audience?
The first thing I have to give credit to is people do not underestimate the power of Instagram. This was all unintentional. All of a sudden, one day I had 900 followers. The next day I had 1,000. I was like, wait, where are these people coming from? So I think first and foremost, I took the time to learn food photography. So putting out the content. And then two, I did a lot of self-learning on designing, making food appetizing, making it look appetizing. So Instagram really helped, but also working on the craft to say that this is the presentation I offer. Then thirdly, I think being more personable on my IG. A lot of people love to say, I'm separating my business from my personal blah, blah. But I will say, like, a lot of people that have been following my Insta stories, they feel like they know a part of me, especially with the Roku TV. With that, people feel like they know me, and so they're more inclined to want to support my business. So they make it's very casual. They come into my DMs. I'm thinking about this. Can you help me? And in a friendly manner, I'll say, okay, let me help you think through. If this is your budget, let's do this, let's do that. So I think that being personable has helped. So now, people feel like, they know me. Yeah. So they're more, when they want to recommend people to their friends, they'll say, oh yeah, Renny, Bites by Renny, this is what she does. Her profile, she's very funny. You should also check out her business. Yeah. So I think that helped a lot. People underestimate the power of putting good content on Instagram and just being personable. And when I say being personable, when people order food from me, I tell them, I'm like, we're not best friends, but I want you to know that we are friendly on a certain level because you've patronized my business. I do thank you cards. My people that have been coming to my events, they get first dibs on my tickets. I'll send them the link and say, here's a discount code. Thank you for coming. Being personable, I think, has really helped the business.
That sounds really great, honestly. So you make all you're describing is just engagement, right?
Yes.
So, and you make it sound really easy. Yo, you guys, I'm in this grind too. Like, it's not as easy. Obviously you put time into it. Yes. It takes time being intentional. It takes putting in effort, right?
Yes.
So I saw your Insta stories the other day. She was making Indomie. And the Indomie was like, this Indomie went to Harvard. This is not your everyday. Indomie is noodles, for those of you who don't know. This was not your everyday. Everyday. What did you have in the noodles again?
I did like diced. Oh, it was a lot. I always do it on the whim. Onion, some celery, diced tomatoes, fish sauce. Yeah, all sorts. Shrimps.
Did you have Iru in there?
No. That was another recipe. Okay. Yeah, no. This one did not have you. Don't worry.
But that Indomie looks really, really good. But I was just putting myself, I actually thought about it. I know your engagement is superb. Like, it's really good. It's like, you can tell you're into it. You're having fun, but then it's also intentional and it's hard work. But then I put myself in her shoes. I was like, man, Bisola, if you're the one making this Indomie right now, Lord, before I finish taking this picture, 2 shrimps would have gone away from that place.
It's a struggle.
And then you were also watching a movie alongside. So she was showing us the movie, talking about it, then would take us back to her Indomie that was cooking. So if the normal person is just chilling, watching a movie, right?
Yes.
For you, it's like, it's almost work. You're watching the movie and then you're cooking and then you're putting it on your stories and then, when do I get time to eat?
So I will say it's work, but I will say that for me, the reason I started doing the Roku and cook is because I needed to find something that was fun while I was doing the hard work. The hard work is having to use your phone to be taking pictures and recording it. Yeah. However, I like watching Nigerian movies, but I don't like watching Nigerian movies when I have to focus on them. So it's very easy for me to watch it if I'm focusing on something else.
That's
so The fun part was watching the movies, and I just think Nigerian movies are unintentionally funny. That's what makes them priceless. Like they were trying to be dramatic, but this is actually hilarious.
Yes.
So it's like combining. So I think like when it comes to engagement and putting content, in order to be authentic, you need to find that balance of let me do something fun while I'm doing the work. Now, something I did want to mention is, you made a point that I'm making it sound easy. I forgot to talk about the hard parts. It's true.
Okay.
I really forgot. When I started doing my events, the first couple of times they were like 50 people, 75 people. And there was a particular year where I was like, I need to go over the 100 people threshold. Like, I really want this to sell out. And somebody else had decided to do a food tasting similar to mine. I remember that year it paid me. I was like, so we're going to copy my concept. And I'm very competitive. I said, so you want to copy my content? I will beat you. Don't you worry. So I actually went crazy. I took my flyers and I started walking the streets of Silver Spring. And I started targeting anybody that looks African. And I tell you, I made like 30 friends. There's so many people that when I see, they'll say, Renny is you. I made friends. I said, hi, listen, I have this business. I need you to support. Come to my event. And sure enough, like half the people I met on the streets came, or they invited people, or they posted it on their Instagram. So yes, I'm talking about now, where I am now. I can post it on Insta stories and trust that it will sell out. But back then, I used to spend hours. I would say, okay, I'm printing out 500 and I'm going to give 500 Africans. I'm going to get my flyers. I would go for, Afropolitan. I would go for any event where I knew Africans would be. I intentionally started going, and I forced myself to be a marketer. I think this is where my day jobs help as a consultant. I was marketing. So that was the less glamorous. But I think for anyone that's seeking to grow engagement or seeking to get the word about their business, you're going to overcome that hurdle of talking to strangers. You have to talk to strangers and become personable and be vulnerable enough to say, it's new. I really, really need your support. You want to support Black business. I'm a Black person in your face right now. How you, while I'm here.
Just do it, man.
Please repost it. This is my Instagram. Oh, wow. And I did so many things, like so many encounters. Just don't be afraid to tell people who you are.
You're absolutely right. And I think a lot of us, for me, I am one of those people who not that I'm afraid, but I'm like, I don't want to bother this person.
Yes.
I'm always asking, go read my posts, go go listen to my podcast, now come to my event. And you're right, because the other day someone texted me and said, can you reshare my post? Because I said I enjoyed your content. And she said, would you mind sharing it? And that's all it took. And I was like, yeah, sure. I'll share it. And sometimes all it takes is just asking, hey, girl, I'm new. Come help me. Come support me. And a lot of people want to help. And I think that's a great tip. Yeah. Yeah.
Especially Black people, Black women, Nigerian, we can be very shy, and you think, and it just takes a couple of posts and word of mouth. Just go up to people, be vulnerable and say, I'm new. I really, really need your support. And it helps.
Awesome. Okay. What is one business mistake you wish you never made?
One is the same mistake I made for years, was undercharging. I always thought, okay, let me not charge too much. And man, I suffered. I suffered money loss, time loss, even health loss. I think people underestimate that catering is actually a physically tasking business. So I think early on, I wish I was more organized in doing my financial modeling, like thinking through, okay, if I charge this much, how much do the ingredients cost? How much will it cost for me to actually make it in terms of time, in terms of energy? So just underestimating how much time things will cost.
Yeah, that's a big deal. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I want to know about your dream, your vision. Where do you see Bites by Renny going in 5 or 10 years? Do you see a restaurant inside, or do you see like bigger events? Like, just tell me your wildest dream. If you had no limitations, if your job is like, yeah, go do whatever you want to do, and where do you see Bites by Renny going?
So, BitesbyRenny, definitely not a restaurant. I'll tell you that. Restaurants are work and they are low return. I've already done my research. You will not find me running a restaurant. It's too much work. So there are two paths that I can take though. I really like the idea of a BitesbyRenny kitchen, where all you're doing is coming to pick up your food. I really don't need you to sit down and eat it there. Just, so that's in the works. Now, wildest, I think BitesbyRenny will need her own talk show, my own cooking show.
How awesome would that be?
Yes, and yes.
And actually, she's so fun. If you haven't, I've only been chatting with her for like an hour, but she's like, I think that would be fantastic. I would thoroughly enjoy that.
And I've already envisioned it. We'll watch a clip of Iroko. We'll laugh at
I love it.
We'll laugh about it, and then we'll cook something. So it will be like basically what's going on in my Insta stories on a larger platform. That'll be my craziest. And I know it will happen, but
That's awesome.
Someday.
I think you can make it happen. I really do. I think that would be awesome.
Thank you.
So tell us a fun fact about yourself.
Ah, God. I thought about this. Oh, fun fact. I actually don't love catering like that. Fun fact. I know.
Okay.
Let me tell you what I love. I love doing my events. That's actually, before my catering got big, I was doing small catering. To be very frank with you, catering just became big in the past 2 years. 2016, when I started doing my events, I was doing small catering and I was fine with that. What I enjoy doing is creating new recipes, having people try it and tell me how wonderful my cooking is. That's actually what I love. The catering, I like the end results. Like I have cooked, but when I tell you, that's why I don't want a restaurant. When I tell you that if I have to go and buy the ingredients, wash the meat, and it's for 500 people, that I actually don't love it. It's not my favorite part.
Do you see yourself getting help? Because a lot of times people have they're the front face, and then you have
then it's not
our
me.
helpers at the back or something.
Then it's not me.
That's not you.
Even my friends that help, they will fry plantain or maybe they are putting things on skewers. They know me. Okay. I'm the one that's seasoning it. Okay. I'm the one that's going to make sure it cooks till the end. I'm the one that's doing most of the cooking.
That's fair.
Because that's the best part about it is that I cooked it. So, but in the whole catering aspect of running up and down, it's not my favorite.
Sis, I hear you. I'm over here struggling to feed my little family. How much more cooking for 500 people? That's
when people
lot.
come to me, I have a wedding, 500 guests. Thank you for thinking of me, sis. No, for your bridal shower, call upon me.
Okay.
For your baby shower, for your kid's first birthday, for 40th birthday, where you have 100 or less.
Okay.
Anything over 100, I'm not doing. Please.
That's reasonable. Okay. So, what is so a lot of people listening to this episode, I'd imagine, are listening because they want to start their own side gig too, or they want to have, something going on, or they've been trying to start something and it's just not picking up. What is your advice for people like that who want to start something or grow something that they already have going on?
First things first, I think spend time in solitude with yourself. I'm a big proponent for solo trips. I actually like to do solo taking a trip, maybe in the area or traveling. First, spend some time in solitude to figure out what it is your business idea is and start. And the first step may be just start your Instagram page or just start your website. First thing is to start. And then my second thing is don't stop learning how to wear multiple hats. I knew I couldn't afford to pay for a graphic designer, and I've figured out how to do my own flyers. Many iterations. I've had some less glamorous ones to now. So I figured by force by fire, I had to learn. I took web courses online. Second step is I needed to figure out how do they invoice. I learned from my day job, okay, this is how invoicing works. And now I have a cheap invoicing platform now that I use, $5 a month. That helps. The third step was, I need to figure out what's an efficient way to, when somebody orders jollof and I need to think about everything I have at the grocery store. Well, I have an Excel sheet now that has jollof on one tab, that has I am actually on one tab, so that when I'm going grocery shopping, I don't need to be doing the same thing again. So when you want to start your side hustle, first things first, spend some time with yourself and just start it whether it's through Instagram, whether it's through your website, start it. And then secondly, start doing the self-education to wear multiple hats. Think of yourself as CEO in the accounting department, in the operations department, in the digital department. What are all the things that need to happen? And you better start teaching yourself how to do a little bit of it. Eventually, when your business grows, you can hire people, but it's good to know what your vision is so that you can tell those people what you want. But my first thing is to start.
That's awesome. All right, I'm going to ask you some rapid fire questions. You ready?
Yes.
Since you started catering, how many people have you catered for?
Over 2,000.
Over 2,000? Goodness. Okay. What is a favorite food that you really wish you want to eat, but you don't know how to cook it?
It's called Ekuru. It's a Kwara State.
Oh, yeah. I'm from Kwara, yeah.
What? I'm always from Ilorin. Yeah, Ekuru. I don't know how to make it.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But you know about it.
I know. Oh, yeah, I do.
You're hip.
So what is your favorite Iroko movie?
It's called Ehis Bitters.
I watched it. I didn't like it.
What? Why? You know what? That's a discussion for another day.
Okay. So, favorite Nigerian actor or actress?
Ooh. Right now, favorite actress is Bimbo.
I love her.
Bimbo Ademoye. Yes.
Yes.
She's dynamic.
Love her.
Actor, I like this guy not because he's great, just because he's hilarious, but he doesn't know he's hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Frederick Leonard. He thinks he's a playboy.
Okay.
But he's not.
Okay.
He says ridiculous things like pedo young kenu. Row your own boats, run your race. So that's my
hilarious.
guy.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I'll take that. So if you could be anything in the world, what is that?
It would be a writer.
Oh, really?
So
well, welcome to my world.
It would be a writer. So
Okay.
before I got into food things, I used to actually write short stories.
Very nice.
So I'm slowly one
Okay.
day.
Well, you have to show me some of those stories so I can see them. Are
one-
they still up on the internet?
They're actually on my blog.
Oh, really? I'll go surfing. I'll go surfing.
It's on my blog.
What is something you're working towards right now?
So I had been toying with a cookbook for years. So I'm doing a combination of short stories and a recipe book.
Oh, how sweet.
Yes, I'm putting this out there so that I'll stop playing games and I'll
actually
actually
do it.
So
Now it's
I
like
can't
it's
disgrace
official.
myself. I have to do it.
That's awesome. Well, it's been a pleasure
Thank
having you
you.
here. I personally have been so inspired, and I have like action items that I'm going to take and, apply to my own personal side gig or hustle. We're all hustling this hustle.
We're all hustling.
So yeah, I have to say a huge thank you so much to Renny.
Thank you for having me. No, this has been great. I've had a
been
good
great.
time. Yes. So looking forward to hearing from you.
For sure. Very
Awesome.
soon.
Thank you.